Greetings, beautiful soul, and welcome to my channel, The Optimist Hub. My name is Yanga, and today's YouTube video, I don't know what to title it just as yet, but what I do know is that I do want to touch on or talk about how sometimes, especially as young people, we often feel like we are not ready to pursue certain dreams or to bring to life certain goals or aspirations, that we have. And I think the biggest question that I do have, however, or one that I've asked myself is, but when is the right time? When will there be a time where you'll feel like, or where I will feel like, okay, now I'm ready? What is it about that time or season that will feel like this is the time? Because I feel like, oftentimes, and this is something I've spoken about a lot on my podcast as well, is look, when you have a dream, once it has made its revelation to you, it is ready for you to bring it to life. That very dream, idea, vision, whatever it is that you have, aspiration, desire, it is ready for you to bring it to life. There's no way in hell that it would just bring forth itself and, it just sit there laying dormant, because I think oftentimes we also tend to discredit ourselves or write ourselves off and thinking that we are not worthy of these dreams, of these ideas, of whatever it is that we dream of. We are not ready of, for rather the greatness that lies within. I think oftentimes as well, we tend to be a little bit scared, or a lot of the times we are scared of our own potential. It's as though we are scared or afraid of success. It's as though we feel we are not worthy or deserving of that success. And I do sit and wonder, where does it stem from, right? But I think, of course, oftentimes we do find ourselves, entrapped in the shackles of fear, of anxiety, and we just write ourselves off. We think, oh no, I'm too young for this, but you're never young. There's no age to it. There's no limit to when the right time is, or the right season. Like literally, I think if we can all, and I speak to not just the young people, but also older people, as per the categories, right? Because oftentimes they say young people is between the ages of, I'd say 12 to 35, that's how they categorize, or 18 to 35, I'm not quite sure, but somewhere there. But I'm speaking to everyone, even outside of that bracket, right? When is the time? When do you think the time will be? Because the time is now. The time that the dream, the vision, the idea has presented itself to you is the time now. It's ready for you to bring it to life. It's literally laying in there dormant. And one thing I also continue to mention in my podcast episodes as well is, one thing about a dream is that it will haunt you. It will haunt you. It will haunt you. And I think in one of my previous podcast episodes, I even mentioned, because I'd come across a video, I think Denzel Washington, yes, he was like doing a speech for graduates who were, it was a graduation ceremony. And he was basically giving them motivation and stuff. And I think one of the things he mentioned that stuck with me, which also resonated a lot with how I feel a dream is like, in terms of it being a thing that's going to continuously haunt you until the end of time, until your time ends. That's because it chose you. It literally chose you. You have the unique as a dream is, right? You have the unique strength, capability, capacity, talents and gifts that are in alignment with that very dream. Only you can bring it to life, and that's why it keeps haunting, and that's why it keeps reminding you that I'm here and I'm waiting for you to evoke. I'm waiting for you to ignite me and share me with the world, because I think also we are here for the betterment of humanity, and we're all teachers and students of each other. We learn from each other, we inspire each other, we teach each other. You never know who's actually watching, or who's looking, or who's listening. And this is not to say there's some creepy person stalking, this is to say that whatever it is that you do, someone is looking and is actually being inspired by you. And what better way to actually step into your dream, lean into your dream, pursue it, bring it to life, and see how many lives you touch, knowingly and unknowingly. We are here to inspire, to teach, to learn from each other. We are teachers and students of each other. And so, again, going back to my point with how a dream can be a haunting thing, and not in a bad way, right? But I mean, it's going to linger. It's going to be with you until the end of time. I think Denzel said in his speech that the dream will, as you depart from, this physical realm to the spiritual realm, it will be waiting for you. And it's literally going to say, okay, yeah, let's go. I'm waiting for you. We are waiting for you. It's probably not more than, you probably don't have just one dream. You have multiple dreams. They will be waiting there for you. Like, okay, let's go. We're going to the ground together because you didn't bring us to life. I'm just paraphrasing, right? But essentially, that's what he was saying. And I think this really stuck with me a lot. I even, like I said, did a podcast episode. It's actually titled Memento Mori. Essentially just highlighting that time is of the essence. Yes, time is an illusion, right? Because we are constantly in the present moment. Therefore, the present moment is eternal. However, we don't have much time. And the fascinating thing about it is that we don't even know when is the full stop at the end of our own story. In our book of life, we don't know what is going to be the full stop, when the full stop is going to be, when you've reached the end of your life. But I think it's very important for us to kind of lean into our dreams, lean into our purpose, strive to live our truth. And I believe that living our truth is also aligned in, our journey to unraveling, discovering, learning, evolving, changing, and becoming our higher selves. And yeah, so this video is really just to say, whenever you feel like, oh, you're not experienced enough, or you don't have the necessary skills, whatever, okay, do whatever you need to do to get to where you need to get to, right? But you're never too young to bring into life whatever dream that you have. I mean, there's a Christian scripture which I do love, and I'm pretty sure there are other scriptures out there on other, from different religious denominations. But there's a scripture in Jeremiah where the higher power, the universe, God says to Jeremiah that don't say that you are too young. In fact, God then says, listen, go there and speak to the nations. I'm just paraphrasing, right? But he proceeds to say, I'll speak through you. And this is to say again, like, we ought to surrender to our talents and gifts. We ought to allow them to live through us. We ought to allow them to use us as vessels, as instruments, and just by doing so, I feel like this is where our dreams and goals will come to fruition, is if we lean into our talents, our gifts, as if we surrender to our talents and gifts, as if we surrender to the actual calling. We answer the calling, whatever your calling is. And I think our calling is embedded in our dreams, our desires, our goals, our visions, whatever it is that you desire the most, that is constantly just lingering, that is constantly haunting you. Because, like, again, it will haunt you. Until you bring it to life, it will haunt you. Even when you decide not to, it will still haunt you. Whether it haunts you during the course of your life or at your deathbed, it will continue to haunt you. Even in your past life, I assume. Or not even past life, rather, afterlife, I assume it will continue to linger there. Because the one thing that we ought to be is to live our truths. And I believe our truths, like I said, is in alignment with our dreams. And talents and gifts are really the instruments that we ought to use in order to kind of bring those to life. And so, with that said, beautiful soul, don't ever feel like you're too young to bring to life whatever it is that you're meant to bring to life, to ignite whatever it is that you're meant to ignite, to enlighten the nation, the world, the masses, whatever it is that you feel called to do and to be, answer that call and step into it fearlessly. Because I think oftentimes, yes, we do find ourselves in the shackles of fear, of self-doubt. We write ourselves off, as I mentioned, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Look, what's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen? Try. Just go for it. Just do it. Okay? And with that said, beautiful soul, I certainly hope that today's video was very enlightening and prompt you to kind of step into it. Don't ever write yourself off because of your age or because you feel you're too young to explore certain things. Look, at some point, before I even pursued my life coach certification, I remember last year, because this is when I got inspired to pursue it. I just didn't know, obviously, which institution to go with and whatnot. But I actually did kind of write myself off. Like, my gosh, I'm so young. Life coach? I haven't experienced much of life for me to want to pursue this or do it. But you know, I did it anyway this year. And I think I have a lot to offer, as much as you also do have a lot to offer. Don't write yourself off because of your age, is what I'm saying. Don't hinder yourself from growing, from evolving, from becoming your higher self just because of your age. Age means nothing. It really is just a concept. Dare I say, it's just a number. It really depends on what it is, which stage of your life you're in and which season you're in. But look, whatever offering you need to bring to the world, you ought to do it. And if you don't, it will continue to haunt you. So what better way to just avoid all of that by just stepping into it fearlessly and yeah, do the most. Okay? With that said, beautiful soul, may goodness and grace lead you to greater heights of success. Namaste.